What up, 12 man? Good to see you guys again. It is another gorgeous day here in the Pacific Northwest. It seems like I say that every time, but it has been really nice lately. A couple, wet days in between, but today, not a cloud in the sky. It's supposed to be up in the high 70s, getting up to 80 this weekend. So, again, great time to be living in the Pacific Northwest and a Seahawk fan, baby. Anyway, it also feels very sunny because this week has been a very eventful one, but I'd say overall very positive if you're a Seahawk fan. I guess I would just have to first start by saying, hallelujah, Doug Baldwin finally gets his long-term deal he's been hoping for. Now, what's really admirable about Doug is the fact that, he didn't sign his second-round tender because he was hoping to get that longer-term deal. Yet, during all that, unlike in past cases with a lot of other athletes who are holding out, they don't show up to OTAs, they don't show up to any of the team workouts because, they're basically holding out for money. But he did not do that. He handled it the right way in the sense of he continued to be a team player, yet still, kept his cards close to the vest and felt he was worth that extra money, and he got it. So it's a 2-year extension on top of the year he was already essentially signed for. So it's a total of a 3-year deal, up to $13 million, $8.5 million guaranteed. So it comes out to about $4.3 million a year, which is a nice pay increase from his $500,000 salary he was getting as a rookie. So congratulations to Doug Baldwin. I think no one here would ever complain about that move to get him signed long term, because he's been so clutch in so many games. Such a good attitude, always bringing the hard work ethic. So my applause to the Seahawks as well as to Doug Baldwin for getting that done. Well deserved, man. And hey, he's part Filipino too, so I share extra bit of Filipino pride with Doug B. So hopefully Doug B won't be quite as angry Doug Baldwin had been before. The other big news of this week was we had OTAs, voluntary OTAs, had started on Tuesday. It's great to see the competition factor already kicking into high gear. Some notes, there were several Seahawks who were not suited up on the field. For example, Malcolm Smith, our Super Bowl MVP, he was in a walking boot. Apparently he had to get some ankle surgery to clean up some stuff in there, some loose bodies inside his ankle. So, but he's expected to be back for training camp. So Cam Chancellor, had his off-season hip surgery. He was still resting, sitting out because of that, but apparently his progress has been very quick, and he will be back in time for training camp as well. Thank goodness. We need that key cog to the Legion of Boom. Russell Okung had surgery on that turf toe he'd been dealing with, and so he's still out for that. Jesse Williams had a leg laceration, and so he was also out at the beginning of training camp, but he should be back soon. Cornerback Thorold Simon is out, still recovering from his foot-toe injury from last season. Former UW quarterback Keith Price was limited because he had a groin issue. Wide receivers Sidney Rice and Chris Matthews, both nursing a knee and a hamstring, respectively, but like the others, should be back in time for training camp. Then there was a couple of non-injury no-shows. Defensive linemen Cassius Marsh and Andrew Pulu couldn't be there because they're still in college and their quarters haven't ended yet, so they need to finish school before they can come out here. So they had to miss because of that. The Seahawks also signed linebacker Horace Miller from UTEP. He was here on a tryout basis during the rookie minicamp, and he got on there. So he is the 90th player right now on the roster. And of course, to nobody's surprise, since he does this every year, Marshawn Lynch was a no-show. Again, this is voluntary, so it's not really that big of a deal. We know what he'll bring when he gets here. And then quarterback Tavares Jackson was not there because of a family issue, and Cliff Averill was not there because he was on his honeymoon. Sounds like a good excuse to miss OTAs. You only have one honeymoon usually. So that was it. That's the participation factor in the OTAs this week. It's just cool knowing these guys are getting back into football, hitting the field, a sign of things to come already. Can't wait. The other exciting possible news is, the question I've been asking all offseason since they let Golden Tate go was, who's going to be returning punts? And that question was never really solidly answered until the beginning of training camp, where it was brought up that Earl Thomas could be the front runner right now to be a punt returner. There's a lot of people concerned saying that, well, why would you risk such an important person in your defense to return kicks? I don't know. I contend that he puts more to risk when he lays out his 100-mile-an-hour tackles going into guys with reckless abandon. So I think he's too quick and too smart to really, allow himself to get hit in a way that would be dangerous, an injury type of situation. So I think it's great. I just think Earl's got so much speed, and the few times we've seen him run back like an interception, I think about that the Buffalo Bills game, man, he was just like the road runner out there, just so to see that possible excitement on every punt would be pretty exciting. So, but other people in the mix is possibly Richard Sherman, who I brought up last year. He was on the depth chart to be number 2 behind Golden Tate, so that never happened, but Richard Sherman is still a possibility there, along with Percy Harvin, of course, and Brian Walters could also be one of those. So we'll see how it all shakes out. A lot of time before they have to make that decision, but I think that's pretty exciting. We did sign all of our rookie draft picks. All 9 of them did get signed, and as I mentioned at the last one, and I'm sure you've probably heard, Garrett Scott, the offensive lineman from Marshall, did not pass his physical because of an enlarged heart, and it was determined that he would probably not ever take a snap in football because there's too much of a health danger. And unfortunate news for the Seahawks and for him, just to go from being drafted to suddenly you can't play again is, I'm sure, very shocking. But the Seahawks did a very cool thing. They knew that information before they signed him, but the cool thing is that they signed him anyway, which gave him his signing bonus as well as his first year salary and NFL medical benefits for a year. So it at least gives him some compensation, even though he won't ever get to play. So I thought that's a pretty cool move. I don't think they had to do that, but they did anyway, and it just shows that Seattle's good at taking care of their people, even the new guys who haven't even had an opportunity to play. So very cool on behalf of the Seahawks. Last week, the Seahawks visited the White House, but I guess that during that trip, the Seahawks, Richard Sherman, Russell Wilson, and Earl Thomas, the 3 of them got an opportunity to shoot a little cooking PSA with the First Lady, Michelle Obama. It was pretty cool seeing those guys helping with that cause, and Sherman did his little spin-off of his post-game NFC Championship speech. He's talking about cooking a dish, so pretty cool. Got to look that up. I'll put the link on here. So we had a few questions this week. One was from, his username is actually Seahawks, and he asked me what my thoughts were on the Peterson versus Sherman debate. Patrick Peterson of the Arizona Cardinals was sort of slamming on Richard Sherman, saying that he's not a true shutdown corner, and saying that the only reason Sherman is doing as well as he is because of the system that he plays in. I just think this is really a ploy because he's got a contract coming up. He wants to get signed to big money just like Richard did, and so obviously anything to make him build up his stock value is what he's going to try to do. And if you look at the numbers, I got them right here. Sherman by far is definitely dominating in practically all the statistics, and what's most impressive to me is the fact that he's got the most interceptions while being the least targeted. So he makes the most of all the opportunities he does get. And to blame Sherman's not being a true corner on the system he plays in, well, hard to debate that because that is the system he plays in. So, what are you supposed to do? You can't not be in the system. So it's very easy to bring up that argument and not be able to prove otherwise because, you can't change those things. That's how he works. That's how the team plays. So I think it's a bunch of smoke and posturing on his part. So no question to me, Richard Sherman, best corner in the league. Not a question. I had another question regarding the training camp in the summer that's open to the public. When's that going to happen? How do you get it? They do open this up to the public. Several dates out of the 2 weeks of training camp that happen in July, end of July, early August. And I believe it was about late June that they made those available via the Seahawks.com website. So that's where you have to go to get those tickets. As soon as I know more information, I will definitely post it here and forward it on to you guys. But I will definitely be there. And hopefully I can meet some of you guys out there and just have some Norb-Cam fun at training camp. I think that'd be a blast. In the news, Vernon Davis kind of holding out right now because he wants a restructure his contract. He's got 2 years left on his deal, but he wants to get paid more now, even though at the time he signed his contract 4 years ago, he was one of the most highest paid tight ends at the time. But I smell a greed factor kicking in. So he's kind of holding out for that, and nothing makes me more happy when there's trouble in paradise down there. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, they got Colin Kaepernick around the corner. They got to pay him. And then they got the whole Aldon Smith issue, who pled no contest to the weapons charges and the DUI. So on July 25th, the judge will rule and determine what his sentence will be. And it could be anywhere from 0 to 4 years, 4 months in prison. So we'll see what how lenient this judge is going to be. And then, of course, the NFL punishments that Roger Goodell could decide to enforce on him. So all I know is, looks like it's about time for another Norb dub with starring Aldon Smith. So look for that coming up real soon. All right, so a couple other notes around the league. Arizona Cardinals suffered a big blow. This will be sad for you Bird Gang down there, and possibly might hurt your hopes of getting to a Super Bowl this year for all you guys who've been talking smack on the Norb-Cam channel and elsewhere. Their defender Daryl Washington suspended for at least 1 year for substance abuse. That's huge, because he was one of those guys that was kind of a key to their defense, and he is going to be gone for the year. So a lot of people on the team, everywhere, fans, players, management, very upset at him for messing up that way. We know what that feels like, but a whole year suspension, I don't think none of our players have had that severe of a fine. So that's a pretty big blow to the Cardinals. Another player lost in a game that will affect us. We were playing the Dallas Cowboys this year, and Sean Lee was injured in OTA, tore his ACL, and he will be out for the rest of the year. So that's another big blow to the defense of the Cowboys. If it helps our cause, I'm not going to shed too many tears about it. It's part of the game. Something kind of cool. The Madden 2015 game cover. They've been having this contest, kind of a tournament style, chosen by fans of who they want to have on the cover. And guess what it's come down to after several weeks of voting? It has come down to Richard Sherman versus Cam Newton to be the cover boy of Madden 2015. So you can vote right now and choose who you want to have on there. Now this kind of split, because there's a lot of people, superstitious people out there, who believe that there's the Madden curse. You show up on the cover of Madden game and then your career kind of toilets after that. So vote as you believe, but if you think it's cool to see Richard Sherman on that cover, that'd be pretty cool. I'm not too much into those superstitious things. I don't buy into a Sports Illustrated cover and all that. Come on, let's get real here. Yet, I'll go and buy the same seats in the Super Bowl that are like the ones I sit in at the Clink. So, I'm superstitious in one area and not superstitious in another. But I've never believed in that one. So, you know, I think it'd be pretty cool. Let me know what you think. But you do have the ability to influence that outcome. Now the fun part, shout-outs. Got a few here, so I'm excited. It seems like we're getting more and more every week. But let's start out here with Amanda Becht, and I've had you on the show. I've shouted out to you before, but this is not just to you, but to your friend Kim Ann Fain, Omak, Washington. I understand she is a huge Marshawn Lynch fan of the beast mode. All about that action, boss.
I'm all about that action, boss.
Thanks for watching the show, appreciate it. Further south here, we've got Sean Donnelly of Salem, Oregon. Big Hawks fan. Got his man cave with the Seahawks gear, the Marshawn Lynch Skittle Bowl going on there, Super Bowl style. Very cool. Thank you for sending your pictures. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And then I got this kind of, be honest with you, I was kind of creeped out when I saw this one. He calls himself the Anonymous 12, and he has a slogan that comes with his identity. We are anonymous. We are Legion of Boom. We do not forgive. We do not forget, and we are coming for you. Yes, that would be the Anonymous 12. It's hard not to get spooked out a little bit with this one, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. Intimidation factor, right? So thank you, Anonymous 12, for tuning in to the Norb-Cam show. Heading further south, now down to California. Jeannie O'Hare, formerly of Gig Harbor, now lives down in Southern Cal. She has some pictures and a video of a very recent 12th Man bike ride that they went on with a bunch of other 12th Man fans on Venice Beach. Check it out.
Oh, 12th Man do it! The 12th Man is everywhere! 12th Man is everywhere! Even down here in Southern California. And you know that. Always representing. Champions! Go Seahawks! Yeah! And what was that final score to Denver? What was that final score to Denver again? 48 to whatever! Yeah! every day, all day.
That's awesome. Representing Southern California, love it. They will be doing another one on the 4th of July. So if you want to be part of that, if you're a Southern Cal resident, you want to join in on the fun, 4th of July, they're doing the same thing down there again. So check out Jeannie O'Hare. She'll hook you up with that if you want to be part of that. Also, she frequents along with a lot of other 12th man out there and current players and their families who live down that area, like Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner, Brandon Browner, Walter Thurman, Dave Craig, Chris Warren, John L. Williams. All these guys have, they've all got something in common down in Culver City, which is the Seahawks bar in Culver City. Even Pete Carroll had done a Twitter shout out representing and giving props to the Seahawks bar in Culver City. So if I ever get a chance to be down there for an away game, I'd love to watch one with you. Sounds like a party. So check that place out if you're in Southern California. All right. And then finally, we go international. Elias Jr. from the city of Porto Alegre in Brazil. He never misses a single game, never misses a Seahawks game. And he is probably the most fanatic fan in the country of Brazil, and that's a lot of people. But he's even ordering through eBay to get a 12th man flag down at his residence there in Brazil. Now, I'm sure you see flags all over the place here in the Pacific Northwest, but that's not something you see every day down in Brazil. So I think it's pretty cool. You gotta get a picture of that when you get your flag put up by your house. I wanna check out 12th man flag flying tall in Brazil. That would be pretty sweet. So that's it for the shout outs. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Make sure you guys, if you want a shout out, please just send me an email at Norb-Cam12@gmail.com. Send me a picture, give me your name, where you're from, and tell me why you are a 12th man. What's special about you? And one last thing, as I've mentioned before, I'm planning to do a lot more productions here, especially as the summer rolls along. Music videos and some other short films that are going to be pretty cool. And I'm curious if any of you guys who are local up here, if you want to be involved in any of these, either as playing bit parts or helping out with any future productions, please email me, let me know. Again, you can either comment here or email me at norbcam12@gmail.com and let me know if you would like to be a part of any of the future productions. I will be looking for assistance in that area, on camera or behind camera. Let me know if it's something you're interested in. I'll put you on the list and keep you informed if we ever do any future things, like we need some people to be in the party for a music video or a bit acting role for one of these upcoming dramatic programs I got in store. So, all right, that's it. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Tell other people about it, about my channel, and like this video, comment, and that's it. Great time to be a Seahawks fan. All right, go Hawks.
We are the 12th man, Seahawks, we got your back. Yeah, Seahawks, we got that swag. Yeah, defense.